the hardest thing for him to do. He has to play nice to someone he absolutely despises. He did defigure his face. Oh, we know damn well if you spread your legs, ain't no amount of Summer's Eve gonna fix that stench. Come on now. Hey, it's Colgate! From Fire Emblem. That's the MC's hair color. Where does she come from? Like, does she live in the shadows? Or was she in the trees? Oh my god, what is that? Hold up. Oh, mama! And to think, this is probably going to be tamed by some of the actual torture standards. That's insane work. Anyone remember in Resident Evil Village, that fucking first boss is that giant vampire bitch, and everyone wanted to get picked up by her? I feel like that's what we deal with. Yeah, literally we got Colgate from Fire Emblem, and we got Dommy Mommy Vampire from Resident Evil Village. The other two, we're chilling with these two. Bro has no idea what it means. I mean, to be fair, he's never been taught that, right? Anyway, let me remove my disguise from dark to light. The craziest thing is I don't even know if Sasha's gonna be the one he wants revenge on the most. Like, she's probably up there, given her reaction to everything when it happened, but I don't think she's the overall one that he wants the most revenge on. I'm interested to see, because seemingly he wants to take the elves alive, so I wonder how psychologically messed they'll be. That was a good episode. Hey you, if you got this far in the video, make sure you drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around here in Patrons, where you're going to catch my full live reactions to all these episodes and more. If you also want to help fund the channel videos just like you're one watching, so let's jump into it, man. This shot, I don't even give a shit. There'll bound to be some people say, oh, it's just a still shot, blah, blah, blah. Why do we... It's... Look at the color work, man. And the atmosphere, just casually dropping in someone who gave me the energy. Anyone remember the giant vampire mommy from Resident Evil Village that everyone wanted to bang? That's the energy she gave off. Oh my god, just the fact that this is a slow burn. There's bound to be people who will say, oh my god, we didn't rush in and kill the elf right then and there. I would have done this. Guess what? That's why you're not the MC of a show like this, because you'd be a very boring MC to follow. A man like this allowing his minions to do the dirty work on some random ass elves trying to fuck around and find out, right? The whole point is that each revenge tour, and that's what I like to refer to this as, is the revenge tour anime. Whether it's a pup, I assume, and I'm still gonna believe fully, is like Reek from Game of Thrones, which was our first main victim, or it's this elf here. Everything is going to be curated for a very specific person. And this right now is almost psychological warfare. Fully believed last week, and I even said it in my video, that he probably did some sort of magical spell to disfigure his face. And, I mean, granted, like, there's no way he was going to expose himself there, because the whole point is he wants that slow burn and wants to make sure they break in the exact way that feels the most satisfying and has the most gratification for him. And I think this was a brilliant way to get across. Like, I mean, it's so funny too, because she immediately is like so offended, like, how dare you get that ugly mug away from me, blah, humans. And it's like, ma'am, we all know you're the ugliest one in that room. I mean, this guy could have no goddamn limbs and smell like, he'd still smell like lilacs compared to you skanky bitch. But it's super interesting because the whole plan was that, like, okay, so she's coming in with a couple bodyguards. She wants to take care of Light before anything gets exposed of what she was involved in. And then obviously we push her back with the number of beasts, which only even she recognizes that the White Knights would be able to deal with. They get involved, and now we split them apart. It's a really brilliant plan because, especially too, it's not even just about killing the White Knights. He seemingly wants to capture them and weaken the force of the queendoms, which in return will allow him to manipulate an entire group of people to exactly what he needs. It's a really well thought out plan, and man, next episode, watching them all be separated is going to be so satisfying. Because the crazy thing too, and this is one of my favorite things, is when shows aren't afraid to show that the characters that might be pissing you off or are the characters you're rooting to be defeated are actually seen as competent. There's no denying that a scene like this, in any normal circumstances, would have the White Knights end up on top. Because he essentially removed all traces of sound and presence from them. Which, to be honest, being inside that dome would probably make you go crazy under normal circumstances if you look at that one room in our own world where if you go in, there's no sound and no one makes it like past like so many seconds because it's that hard to deal with. So like, you can't deny that they're powerful. It's just when you have, because I think the highest ranking person is this guy right here, who's like 3,000 something. I mean, most of our grunt soldiers are 5,000, right? Like, they never stood a chance. But it still is entertaining because the whole world is so accustomed to humans having no power and characters in the 9,000s not existing, right? Like, the big old dragons are probably in the couple thousands, maybe 3,000-4,000s at most, right? And the way this man has separated them all into his big-ass dungeon, like, I don't know if I'm the only one getting the vibe, but it's almost like if the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones... we already knew the outcome to the Red Wedding when we first watched it for the first time, because that's what it feels like. I'm like, oh my god, this man has laid out the perfect trap of massacre bloodshed. They just don't have any idea the characters we're watching, right? It's so fun, man. Like, there's still bound to be people who just think like, oh man, if you always know the MCU's gonna win, why is that fun? But, you know, similar to something like, say, a One Punch Man, you know, that was my initial thought before watching Season 1 of One Punch Man. Why would I want to watch a show where I know the man's always going to win with one punch? And then I realized the comedy's really good, and I realized there was more than just fights in that show, which made it entertaining. And a similar mindset here. It's not about me ever assuming Light, aka Dark, because you gotta love his alter ego, is going to lose, because I don't think he ever will. But it's more about seeing how he gets to the end result and what the world will look like after he's reshaped it to his will. That's more of the interesting thing. That's not going to work for every show, but it does work for this one. And honestly, man, this episode gave me Apocalypse Springer vibes. And if you watched those videos when I did it earlier in the year, you know how much I love that show. That thing was awesome. And just... I love, too, that it feels like a fucking gacha, man. Like, as silly as it is, like, the fact that none of these characters look like they belong in the same show, it makes them feel like they were gacha rolled. Because they were, but honestly, I really think the author behind the show legitimately understood gacha, because I don't think this, like, you don't get the MC from the one Fire Emblem, what was it, Fire Emblem Engage, who looked like Colgate, or Dami Mommy Vampire from Resident Evil. Like, come on, like, this is just fantastic. You can let me know what you thought down below, though, because, you know, this episode was pretty freaking fantastic. Like, sure, it's not going to be for everyone, but nothing will be, but I think anyone who's been enjoying the revenge side and the silly side of the show is going to come out pretty freaking happy, all things considered. But you let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around here, and Patrons. We're going to catch my full live reactions to all these episodes and more. If you also want to help fund the channel, videos just like these, which is why I love to give video shoutouts to my patrons who make this all possible. So today we got Tony X, Spectra, Monsi7, Rekatron, Buwanake, Monica Luzuria, Jesse Kent, and we also have Kyle Kowachuk. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.